let's begin with breaking updates coming in. The Enforcement Directorate officials are currently conducting searches at the Muda office, the Mysuru Urban Development Authority office. This is in Mysore. We're learning that the ED sleuths arrived a short while ago and are going through some documents as part of the investigations. My colleagues Bhavtosh Singh and Deepak Bopan are joining us on the broadcast with the details. Bhavtosh, the ED officials at the Muda office, what are the details of the action on ground?
Well, last month there was a case that was registered under relevant sections of money laundering by the Enforcement Directorate. This followed the orders of the special court, which in fact asked Lok Ayukta to file a case. The case of Lok Ayukta was filed under schedule of offences, thus allowing the Enforcement Directorate to go ahead and file a case of money laundering. The case that was registered by the Enforcement Directorate was against Karnataka CM, his wife and others, and today is the first time that the Enforcement Directorate is carrying out these searches. They have not said at where all these searches are being carried out, but sources have told us is that searches are presently being carried out at the office of Muda, that is Mysuru Urban Development Authority's office, and at places of some close associate of the CM and people said to be linked to CM. Now, there are no searches at CM's office. That's been clarified by the Enforcement Directorate, of premises linked directly to the CM. ED has not officially issued any statement, but last month they did say, the top sources said that there is a case that has been registered, and the person who had lodged or given a private complaint in this case, his statement was also recorded by the Enforcement Directorate.
Okay, all right. Deepak, take us through the political fallout of the same. This is an issue that has created a political firestorm in Karnataka, with the BJP also raising some questions and demanding the resignation of the Chief Minister as well. On his part, the Chief Minister has clarified that he has nothing to do with it. But this ED action also comes a day after the Muda chairman had also resigned.
Well, yes, this is a very important development to bring our viewers up to speed as to what's happening in Mysuru. The AD officials reached there about an hour and a half ago. They've here asked all the officials to comply with all the instructions that are being put out by the Enforcement Directorate officials. The secretary is there at this point in time. He has just spoken to the media a few minutes ago, where he has said that all the officers are going to be providing any assistance that the ED needs in terms of presenting before them the documents or any sort of statements if required. There are multiple officers of the Enforcement Directorate who are right now there. Talking about the politics, of course, we've seen how this entire controversy has rocked, the political system here in Karnataka. The Chief Minister, of course, in the middle of all of it, initially went on to say that he has nothing to do with it. He has, of course, continued to maintain that. As far as the allocation of sites, he has said that he didn't ask for any sort of special treatment. His property, belonging to his wife, was taken by Muda, and in compensation, sites had to be given, and that's what was done. Following the march and the protest by the BJP, we saw so many political developments take place. Finally, the governor gave sanction. That was challenged in court. The Karnataka High Court upheld that order. There is, of course, the option to challenge that, which hasn't yet been employed by the Congress party. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister has decided to, of course, return the 14 sites, or rather his wife has decided to return the 14 sites, and it has already been accepted by Muda. At the back of all of these developments and the demand by the BJP for Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to resign, now the Enforcement Directorate conducting these searches at the Muda office in Mysuru. Now the question that comes up is, after these searches, whether the next in line for questioning is going to be the Chief Minister himself by the Enforcement Directorate. This is going to be a big development if it happens. As of now, the searches are limited to the Muda office in Mysuru.
Okay, all right. So let's take this across back to Bhavtosh. So Bhavtosh, how is the searches going to proceed from here on? We're told they're currently at the Muda office. Any information on what is the action that's going to come in next, especially considering it involves allegations against the Chief Minister and his family members?
Pratibha, adding to what Deepak has said, one person's statement has been recorded officially. That is the person who had given the private complaint, that is Mr. Krishnaya. His statement was recorded, and it has taken them nearly 19 to 20 days to go ahead and carry out these searches. Remember, this is a very high-profile case that ED has taken, and they in fact has not issued an official statement. One has to wait and see what will happen after these searches get over, whether they will issue a statement, whether they will in fact summon the wife, or they will summon Mysuru's Urban Development Authority officials, or they will directly summon the Chief Minister as far as this case is concerned. According to the top sources in ED, they have said that they are looking this case, in fact they are carrying out investigation with a very broad mind, whether the land that was in fact allegedly acquired by the wife, the 14 plots, whether it is a part of proceeds of crime or not, is a matter of subject matter of investigation. Now, surrendering of land does not mean that she is absolved of all charges. They will in fact go ahead and investigate this case. Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, has in fact all legal options open before him. He can in fact appeal before a division bench. He can come to the Supreme Court, seek relief. The fact is there is a predicate offence. It's an FIR that has been filed by the Lok Ayukta. He can go ahead and quash that. If that happens, then the ED's case, that is the money laundering case, it collapses, because there have been a ruling of the Supreme Court that says that if the predicate offence is quashed, then the ED's case does not stand. One has to in fact see what is the next step. That is very important in this case. This is the first big action that ED has taken as far as one of the most high-profile cases that the ED has taken after investigating the alleged excise scam in New Delhi.
Okay, all right. Big story. All details here on Times Now. We continue tracking the developments and going back to our reporters for those updates. Thanking Bhavtosh and Deepak for joining us with those details.